Dukes and Palker on the front row. Euler inside the second row of Duncan. Danny Smith going to have to come from the back in the number 51. They get set to come to the cone in turn 4. They're there, and we're at green. Dukes grabs the lead off 2 down the back straight. Smith slides in between Morgan and Euler as he picks up a couple of spots, and Palker goes up the bank in turn number 3, yellow. Well, Palker loses his prime starting spot as he started outside the front row. He has to go tail since he brought out the caution flags. We get set to come to a green. Duncan gets a good start this time as he leads him down the back stretch into turn 3. Wilson in the 63 slides up to the number 4 spot. Here comes Danny Smith. Smith looking outside of Morgan. He'll get him. He goes to the number 5 spot. So Smith safely in the program. Duncan's your leader. Duke second, Neumeister third, Wilson fourth, and Danny Smith in the number 5 spot. Duncan starting to open up a lead over the 3 of Dukes. Now Smith slides up in front of Wilson for 4th. Danny Smith takes the 4th spot away from Greg Wilson. Wilson can't get him back. Top 5, single file through 3 and 4. Duncan still holds the lead as Smith continues to charge forward. Danny Smith in the 51 now looking for 3rd. Smith slides up in front of Neumeister. Neumeister shuts the nose of the car to the right as Smith went on by. Danny Smith on a mission from the back of the pack as he tries to reel in Dukes for 2nd. Wilson just slides up in front of Neumeister for 4th. Neumeister trying to hold on to a transfer spot. Your leader going to get the white flag this time, 1 to go. Final lap. As Danny Smith now is looking for position number 2. He moves right in on Dukes, goes to the bottom. Off of 4, Duncan's going to win it. Smith will come home 2nd, Dukes 3rd, Wilson 4th, and Neumeister in the number 5 spot. Your 5 cars transferring to the A main. Your winner, the 22 of Rodney Duncan. 2nd spot goes to the number 51 of Danny Smith as he took a heck of a run up to the number 2 spot. 3rd spot, the number 3, Jason Duke. So his streak continues. He's back into the A main. Greg Wilson finishes 4th in the 63, and the 5th spot goes to the 11N of Ed Neumeister. Set to come to a green at the cone. They're there. Here we go. And we got a bottleneck in the back of the pack as everybody now sorts out through 1 and 2. Down the back stretch they go, and it's Rob Cheney up front at 29. Martin in the number 2 spot, Harrison's 3rd, Sean Cheney 4th, as Boston Reed now tries to move into 5th. Reed works the bottom, he's in the number 5 spot as Mark Keegan tries to come forward. Mark Keegan looking to move in a transfer spot as he goes inside Reed for 5th. Reed comes back and gets him on the inside. That's for the last transfer spot back there, the number 5 spot, Reed and Keegan. Keegan now holds the advantage down the backstretch as Rob Cheney still leads. Martin in the number 2 spot, Harrison 3rd, Sean Cheney 4th, Mark Keegan 5th. Brandon Martin, a nice smooth run in that 2nd spot. Only a 2nd start here in a 4:10. Harrison now challenging him though for the number 2 position. Top 5 have pulled away from the rest of the field. Livingston back to the pits in the 74L. White flag is out, 1 to go. Mark Keegan needs to pick up another spot to get a chance to redraw for the feature. Into 3, off of 4, Cheney will win it. Martin comes home 2nd, Harrison 3rd, Sean Cheney 4th, and Keegan in the number 5 spot. So Rob Cheney in car number 29 picks up the win in heat race number 2. How about Brandon Martin, the 11, a good strong run as he finishes in the number 2 spot. Come to the cone down there in turn number 4. They're there, we're green. Gressman trying to squeeze around the outside. He does, and he'll lead him down the back into 3. Whoa, Ivy and Schrader just about got together in turn number 4. Ivy's bobble allows Schrader to go up to 2nd. Gressman up front, Schrader 2nd, Ivy 3rd. Repke and Reed side by side for 4th. Everybody now starting to move down towards the bottom. Schrader now reeling in Gressman for the top spot. Reed still 3rd, Ivy 4th, Repke 5th. Schrader gets a good run off at turn number 2. Now he'll try and go the outside of Gressman. Gressman slides up, holds him off. Repke in 4th. Now Schrader gets a good run off at turn number 2. They'll go wheel to wheel into 3. Off of 4, Schrader will grab the spot. Schrader now up front. Gressman 2nd, Reed 3rd, Repke 4th, Ivy 5th. White flag coming up this time, 1 to go. Final lap as Schrader now opens up his lead. 3 off of 4, and Schrader will win it. Gressman 2nd, Reed 3rd, Repke 4th, and Ivy in the number 5 spot. Well, he won the feature event here 2 weeks ago, now picks up the win in heat race number 3. The 9X puts Schrader, your winner. Phil Gressman in the number 2 spot, and car number 2, 3rd, the 5 of Byron Reed, 4th, the 99 of Alvin Repke, and the 5th spot goes to the 20 of John Ivy. Gressman scheduled to start inside the 2nd row. We throw the green, here we go. Field off and underway, and they go down the backstretch. Call in the 83, grabs some cushion, yellow. The top 4 finishers will go to the feature. The top 3 get to redraw for a starting spot in the A main. Green flag. And Schaefer gets a good run off the outside in car number 97S. Gressman, though, dives down to the bottom at turn number 4. Schaefer comes back and has the lead. Schaefer up front, Gressman 2nd. Call and Wilson fight for 3rd as Gressman goes underneath Schaefer, and he'll have the lead. Those 2 cars up front going at it. Schaefer gets a good run on the bottom as he takes a half a car length into turn number 3. Gressman stays on the outside of them as they go wheel to wheel at the flag stand. Wilson in 3rd, Call 4th. Gressman now gets the advantage and heads down the backstretch. A spin in turn 2. Darren Long in the number 7 will bring out the caution. Now Greg Wilson gets a good run on Schaefer as he goes up to 2nd. Halfway done, 4 and 4 to go. So now it's Gressman, Wilson, Schaefer, and Call are your top 4. can see the drivers trying different lines on the racetrack. White flag. Oh, look how your leader loops it. But he keeps it going. But he'll lose 3 spots. Gressman goes back to 4th. Into 3, off of 4, your winner is going to be Wilson. Second spot will go to Call. Third spot to Gressman. And Schaefer in the number 4 spot. So that'll move up your 5th place car into a transfer spot. We get set to go heat race number 2. Green flag, here we go. Stewart, as Allison has a big time slide job through 3 and 4, but Stewart holds on to the lead. Stewart up front. Jeremy Durst now in the number 2 spot. Allison runs 3rd, Carter 4th. Top 3 right bunched together as they go down the backstretch into turn 3. Now Durst tries to slide up to the lead. Durst, the 24, the good run up front. Stewart still holds on to 2nd, Allison 3rd. The number 4 spot's the 0 of Steve Irwin. Now Stanley makes a big run and slide into 3 and 4. Stanley trying to take the final transfer spot in the 18S. Irwin, though, will take it hard to turn 1, slide up. Stanley with just enough room on the outside. No, he runs out of racetrack. Irwin slams the door in turn number 4. Keegan, the 24, still your leader. Checkered flag coming out. And he will win it. Stewart 2nd, Allison 3rd. And Irwin hangs on to the number 4 spot. There at the cone, we're green. Walters in the 12 will lead lap number 1 over Seitz, Kern, and Sauter. Number top 4 is all we're looking for as Walters in that black number 12 opens up a half a straightaway lead. Walters continues to stretch his lead over Seitz. Kern still 3rd, Sauter still the number 4 spot as Banyas and Yoakum about got together on the front stretch. And a spin down in turn 2, yellow. Now Sauter in the 35 trying to take over the 3rd spot. And he will. So Sauter's now up to 3rd. Dennis Yoakum in the red number 28 trying to move into a transfer spot. Keep your eyes on that battle for 4th. Yoakum goes to the bottom and takes the 4th spot away from Kern. Yoakum now in the show in car number 22. Sauter now wants second. White flag is up, 1 to go. Sauter can't quite get around sights for second. Walters going to run away with this one. Into 3, off of 4, Walters will be your winner. Second spot will go to Sauter. Sights third, Yoakum in the number 4 spot. One of your Michigan drivers on the pole this one, the 99 of Morrison. They come to the cone, here we go. Heller will lead him down the backstretch into turn 3. Look out, Leiber's gonna spin and stop. Yellow. All right, complete restart, here we go. Dussel in the black number 6 and Heller in the 14. Go side by side through 3 and 4, and Dussel will have the lead by half a car length. Mike Dussel and Todd Heller battle up front. Linder's in the number 3 spot. Breck charging forward in car number 20. Mike Breck in a yellow number 20 in the 4th spot. The fight continues up front between Dussel and Heller. Dussel working the bottom. Heller stays up on the top side. Breck trying to close in on Linder for the 3rd spot. Top 4 pulling away from everybody else. Leiber in the 62B has moved back up into 5th, but it's not going to help him. You need to be in the top 4. As Dussel continues to hold the point, now Linder moves in on Heller as Leiber goes off the track in turn 3 and 4, comes back on. Will stay green. And we'll have a yellow. Linder in a 3. 22. Back under green. Duffy Smith now in that 4th spot in the 38K as Linder tries to move up. White flag, 1 to go. Linder's got to pick off one more spot to go to the A main. Keep your eyes on that red number 3. Checkered flag out, Dussel will win it. Heller 2nd, Breck 3rd, and Smith in the number 4 spot. Hogan and Reed on the front row. Keegan and Morgan in row number 2. Hunter, Blonde in the 3rd row. Hogan gets set to bring him the cone down in turn number 4. He's there, we're green. Morgan gets it crossed up, cuts through the infield, keeps her going. And a yellow. Euler in the 97 brings out the caution. All right, complete restart. Hogan and Reed come to the cone. Here we go. will lead him down the backstretch into turn 3. Hogan and Keegan side by side for second. Give Keegan the second spot. Hogan in number 3 spot. Hunter's 4th. Morgan loops it as he was in a transfer spot. And he collects Robino. Yellow. Green flag. And just like that, Boston Reed opens up a lead over Keegan. Hogan's 3rd. Hunter's 4th. Blonde in the number 5 spot. Just smoking around the racetrack. Well, they say there's nothing better than when a car is good and you can just let her wing around here pretty much wide open. And that's Boston Reed right now in that number 9, as he is now close to a half a track ahead of Keegan. Now Reed's going to catch the back end of the field. Keegan 2nd, Hogan 3rd, Hunter 4th, Blonde is 5th. Reed now just barely thread his way around the outside of Morgan. A car going back to the pits just about took him out. Keegan still 2nd, Hogan still 3rd, Hunter 4th, Blonde 5th. White flag coming out, 1 to go. Boston Reed making this one look easy. He enters turn number 3 off of 4, he'll win it. Boston Reed, your winner. Jody Keegan comes home 2nd, Hogan 3rd, Hunter 4th, and Blonde in the number 5 spot. Top 5 out of your B main, Boston Reed. He wins it in a runaway, car number 9. 2nd spot, Jody Keegan in the K60, 3rd, the 75 of Mike Hogan, 4th, the 2H of Tim Hunter, and 5th to the number 5 of Chad Blonde. Spin and Carter, front row. Bieber, Leiber, row 2. This sounds like the super sprint division 5 or 6 years ago. Leibers and Biebers and Wisbens. So we get set to come to a green down in turn number 4. Green flag. And look out, problems in turn 2, yellow. Green flag. Carter up front in the 4C. Steve Leiber 2nd in the 62. Wilson's in the 3rd in car number 31. Wisbin in the final transfer spot in the blue 12. Now Leiber goes the outside of Carter. Wilson up to the number 2 spot in a yellow 31. Leiber leading. Wilson 2nd, Carter 3rd. Now Dwayne Leiber trying to take the 4th spot from John Wisbin. and he'll get it. Now Greg Wilson's your leader in car number 31. We're halfway done, 5 in, 5 to go. The 77 of Hoffman going back to the pit area. Wilson, Leiber, Carter, and Leiber, your top 4. Now Dwayne Leiber takes the 3rd spot away from Scott Carter. Wilson keeps the momentum going around the outside. Top 4 stay the same. The white flag is out, 1 to go. Final lap for Greg Wilson. Off of 4, Wilson will win it. 2nd spot goes to Leiber. 3rd spot goes to Dwayne Leiber. 4th spot to Scott Carter in the 4C. Stand up and make some noise as we get ready to go your 25-lap Super Sprint main event. We said a veteran and a youngster up on the front row. Danny Smith and Brandon Martin. Wilson and Repke in the 2nd row. Gressman and Duncan in row number 3 as we get set to come to the cone in turn number 4. They take it nice and easy. They're there. Green flag's out. We're underway. The field is off and underway, and it'll be Danny Smith with the advantage down the backstretch into turn 3. Off at turn 4, it's Smith, Wilson, Martin, Repke, and Byron Reed. Greg Wilson with a good run down through 1 and 2. He'll grab the lead down the backstretch. Wilson now hugs the bottom as he comes off of 4. Yellow flag. I think the car that is off the track is the 3 of Jason Dukes. Greg Wilson brings the cone. We're green. Cheney, the 29, now moves up to the number 4 spot as Alvin Repke goes to 2nd. Your points leader, Alvin Repke, moves to the number 2 spot. Rob Cheney in the 29 trying to take 3rd away from Danny Smith. Off of 4 comes your leader, Greg Wilson. The bottom groove here early seems to be the quick way around, as now Danny Smith slides back up into 3rd. So Cheney's on the bottom, Smith's on the top side, and Smith now recontrols the 3rd spot. Yellow flag coming out. Rob Cheney, the 29, started 9th. He is to 4th. Greg Wilson with Alvin Repke in tow. They're green. Danny Smith with a good run on the high side. Danny Smith got by Alvin Repke on the restart. He shoots back into second. Smith rim riding around the outside and now catches Wilson. Danny Smith up on the top. Now he is the meat in the sandwich between Wilson and Repke. Cheney fourth. Duncan in the number 5 spot. Repke and Smith battle hard for the number 2 spot. Now Smith trying to get a run off of 2, can't do it. Top 3 right on top of each other. 3 wide in turn number 3. Repke goes to the very bottom of the track and tries to get a run on Wilson. Wilson now goes up to the top of the racetrack. Repke gets a run off the bottom of turn number 2. They're side by side into 3. Repke and Wilson come off 4. Give it to Wilson at the starter stand. Smith third, Harrison fourth, Cheney fifth. Alvin Repke still working that bottom groove. Wilson holding on to the top side. Smith also up on the top groove. Wilson now goes back down to the bottom. Greg Wilson goes down to the bottom to protect the lead. Now goes to the top of 3 and 4. So Wilson's all over the racetrack trying to find the best line. Now that allows Danny Smith to close back in car number 51. Danny Smith going to come up and again make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Wilson still holds the point, but Danny Smith now is challenging Repke for second. Harrison in the 44 trying to make it a 4-car battle for the lead. We're halfway done. So now Greg Wilson and Alvin Repke are committed to the bottom. Danny Smith and David Harrison on the top side, and they are hitting slower traffic. Danny Smith gets a run outside of Repke up in the number 2 spot. But the slower traffic's in that top groove. That'll slow Smith down. Now they really get bottled up behind the slower cars. Smith with a slide job up to the top of turn number 4. Top 4 right now, Wilson, Repke, Smith, and Harrison. Cheney in the number 5 spot. Keegan has come up to 6th. Now they string out single file. Smith and Harrison still up on the top side. Repke goes back to the bottom of 3 and 4. He gets a good run through 3 and 4 that time and closes back in on Wilson. Wilson goes back to the bottom of 1 and 2. Repke trying to get lower. Off of 4 they come. Danny Smith now closes back in. This time Wilson gets a good run through 1 and 2 and opens up the advantage a little bit on Repke. Repke gets bottled up on the bottom. Second, third, and fourth place cars now bunched together. Wilson still working through traffic. Danny Smith moving back in. 5 laps to go this time by, 5 remaining. Greg Wilson still holding on, and now he opens up the advantage. Repke losing contact with Wilson. Danny Smith now the run on the outside to retake the 2nd spot. Now Repke closes back in on Wilson again. It'll be a shootout these last couple of laps. Wilson slides up around the slower car. Repke gets a run off the bottom. Side by side the flag stand. Repke trying to get underneath Wilson for the lead. Alvin Repke takes the lead. Repke now your leader. Wilson in 2nd. Smith 3rd. Harrison 4th. Couple to go as Alvin Repke tries to hold on. He gets a good run through 1 and 2. Repke holding the bottom groove. White flag coming up this time. 1 to go. Greg Wilson, one last shot at him. He dives down the bottom of 1 and 2 with Repke. Repke leads him down the backstretch. Lap traffic right in front of your leaders. Into 3, off of 4, checkered flag out, Repke will win it. Wilson second, Smith third, Harrison fourth.
So 6 shows, 6 different winners. There he is, Alvin Repke, your winner. All right. Oh, Alvin, what a win. Tell you what, that lead that Wilson had on you would yo-yo, he'd get away from you, you'd catch back up. How hard was it to stay patient?
Oh, well, I tell you what, we just didn't want to get off the bottom. Smith tried just the track, and his car wasn't there on the high side. And Wilson, I almost had one turn down there in 3 and 4. He just went just a little up in the middle a little bit. We got beside him, and that was all we needed.
Tell you what, Danny Smith was outside you quite a few times, too. That had to make things interesting.
He's got a loud motor.
You heard him, huh?
Yes, I did. I tell you what, I want us to say thanks to Barry and Charlie and Mike and Doug Ford. I tell you what, they do this car every week, and look at it. Look where we're standing right now. It's all because of them. And I'll tell you what else, George trained on the ball for a lot of years, pushing us right along. So also thanks to Rick, he told us to smack some cars, and we finally tried a DTW, Rick. Are you happy?
I tell you what, you were close a lot of times last year. Now is it finally feel to be back here on the horse track?
I'll tell you, last time we won here in 1995, and we won 2 features, and it's just tough here at Attica. You can see the field tonight. It's just about an all-star show. So, you know, we did something tonight.
You sure did. Congratulations. Race fans, Alvin Repke, your feature winner.
Okay, pick your favorite. So we get ready to go for 25 laps. They're at the cone green flag. Brecht in the 20 gets the jump on the initial start as he leads over Allison, Harrison, Call, and Schaefer. Look at Wilson. Oh, he banged a tire down there in turn number 2. He was starting to move forward till he hit the tire down there. Brecht up front. Allison and Harrison fighting for second, and we got a spin down in turn number 4. Dwayne Leiber in car number 62. And the 97 is sealing the 2 cars involved down there. Brecht and Allison come to the cone. Green lights on. Oh, Allison going to try a slide job right off the bat, and they bump and bang. And upside down and over the catch fence goes the 20 of Brecht. Red flag. Well, you can bet some folks aren't going to be too happy here.
Hey, easy. They banging? No, you are. Huh? You are. Don't
Top 2 cars knocked out as Allison tried a slide job on Brecht. Brecht wouldn't give. Oh, look out, right off the get-go. Problems again. Sights in the 33H, the 18S of Stanley. All right, let's see if we can get some more laps in here. Green flag. Aaron Call and Todd Heller battle for the top spot. Call now grabs the lead. And Wilson still on the move in car number 31 as he is charged up to fourth. Oh, he gets banged in the rear end. Keeps it going. Got cars going over the tires down in turn 4. Well, Wilson just got drilled right in the rear end down in turn 4. So now it's Call up front, Kern second, Heller third, Dussel fourth. So Wilson had a great save, and now he's trying to march back through the field. Call with a good lead up front in car number 83. Kern second, Heller third, Dussel fourth, Durst fifth. And Wilson's back up to the 6th spot. And a yellow spin down in turn number 1. Jeremy Durst in the 24. Was the break that Greg Wilson needed. The field back underway, yellow. Race back under green. And the yellow comes back out. Still 9 in, 16 to go. We're back to green. Wilson now to run off the bottom of turn number 2 and moves up into the 3rd spot. Now he will look for second as he goes by the 48 of Kern. Greg Wilson now in the number 2 spot, and he'll have to run down Aaron Call, but Kern wants the 2nd spot back in car number 48. Linder in the 3 moving up. Linder's now up into the 4th spot. Three cars fighting for 4th. As Sauter gets a good run off at turn number 4 that time to take the 4th spot. Sauter's up on top, Heller in the middle, Linder on the bottom. Now here comes Wilson as he chops into Aaron Call's lead. Wilson goes to the bottom at turns 1 and 2 while Call stays up on top. Wilson eats up a ton of ground that time through 3 and 4. And a yellow. down to Aaron Call. Green flag. Call sticking to that outside groove. Now Wilson goes upstairs with them to try and reel them back in. Now Wilson goes back to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Aaron Call in the 83 though still holds on up front. Kern third. Linder now in the number 4 spot. Sauter is 5th. Now your top 2 side by side. Wilson trying to slide up, but Call holds on. Wilson again running right against the tires down the bottom. Now Linder's trying to move into 3rd. This time he may get the run he wants. He slides up there side by side, banging at the flag stand. Wilson now gets the good run through 1 and 2 and takes the lead. Greg Wilson now your leader. Aaron Call 2nd. 3rd spot is Kern in the 48. Linder 4th, Sauter 5th. The laps begin to wind down. We'll see if your leader hits lap traffic before we get to a wider checker. Looks like he will. But it may not matter because he's running away from Call. Wilson shoots it down the backstretch into turn number 3. Off of 4, the white flag is up, 1 to go. Final lap. Call still holding 2nd. Now Sauter takes over the 3rd spot. Good 3-car race for 3rd. Wilson into 3, off of 4, checkered flag out, he'll win it. Sauter 2nd, 3rd spot will go to Sauter, 4th to Linder, Kern 5th.
The feature win. We got Rick's Auto Sales, NBC, some of the sponsors on the 31. Not a bad night. Finished runner-up in the 410 feature. Now picks up the Sprint Invaders feature. Race fans, put your hands together. Greg Wilson, your feature winner. Greg, I don't know how you did it. I thought you were done when you guys slammed down there in turn number 4.
Yeah, man. I think that was a payback for yelling at all the officials after my dumb mistake and not going to the scales at the heat race. I owe them an apology, but Man, I'm just glad Don and Harold let us bring it up there down in Kentucky. And all the guys back here brought it up, and my crew from the 63 car helped out, and that was one badass race car.
I tell you what, it didn't matter how far you got bumped back. Aaron Caldwell, once you got him, though, that was a pretty good race. He was up in that top group, and you were down at the bottom.
Yeah, I kind of had to crowd him a little bit, but we didn't touch or nothing. I mean, that was a good, clean race, and man, the good Lord was watching out for us. I mean, we should have been in a couple of them crashes, and I don't know, I got through them, and I'm just glad to be standing here.
Not bad, huh? Second and a first?
Yeah, I mean, Alvin, had a heck of a race in that 410 deal, and I mean, he smoked me. But man, I'm just glad to come back and win one. American race tires on the left rear. I mean, when that thing took off driving, it was just unreal. I mean, we were good.
Well, congratulations, Greg. Race fans, put your hands together for him. Your feature winner, Greg Wilson.